Well, that was shit. Hello everybody, my name's Delicaster54. Welcome to my Destiny 2 beta review. So yeah, the beta was interesting. There were bits that I liked, but then there were also those bits that I really felt were just absolutely shit. So, to start off with the supers, I mean, Bungie. Okay, right, I get that what they're trying to do is they're trying to make PvP and PvE more weapon-based, more skill-based. You know, you're not constantly using your super. It's something that's kind of rare that you get, so it takes longer to charge up. But, you know, the game revolves around it pretty much. You get your super from light, and the light is what you need. And I get that, you know, you don't have your light throughout the story, but you still have it because otherwise you wouldn't be alive. So just make the charge up shorter. I mean, you can hardly use it in one Crucible game. I mean, there were most Crucible games where I wouldn't get it because you'd complete the game before you'd even get your super. And if you were lucky, you'd get it once. You would never get it more than once. And the golden gun was terrible because you had 6 shots, but you could only really ever get 3 off throughout the whole super because it drains it so quickly. And I've actually got a comparison of the charge up rate from Destiny 2 beta and the charge up rate from Destiny 1. And I've also got it on Destiny 1 with full intellect. And I hate the way that they've kind of got rid of the intellect and discipline side, so you don't have the charge ups as much. It's now what, movement, mobility, things like that. It's like mobility, recovery, and resistance. I mean, you would get that in your super, and now they've taken that out and put it on the armor, and it's just, I think a lot of what they've changed isn't good. I think Destiny 1 was a good game in itself, and I loved the weapons, you know, the way that it was a primary weapon, then you had the special weapon, and then you had your heavy. But now you can't have, you know, your hand cannon, your sniper, and your rocket launcher. You can have your hand cannon, and your sniper, or your hand cannon, and your rocket launcher. You can't have that secondary weapon in there. And it actually annoys me the way that they've done that, because they said that they did it because they're trying to allow players to play with the guns that they loved the most. But it's a brand new game, Bungie. We've never used these weapons before, so how are we playing with more of the weapons we love? And also, no one really loved kinetic weapons that much anyway, let alone, you know, using a primary all the time, because you'd whip out your secondary to deal more damage. But now you have your primary and then you whip out another primary. You don't take out a secondary like a shotgun, because your shotgun's your power weapon. The shotgun is what you get rarely, which doesn't really make sense to me, because, you know, it's just a bit, in my opinion, it's stupid, it's dumb, it just doesn't make sense to me at all. And I just don't really get what was going through Bungie's head when they did this. And I don't know, I mean, if they changed it to the way that Halo was, where you'd have to pick up weapons, I mean, that I could understand, that would probably be alright, but it's not Halo. That game's been and gone, you know, they can't do anything with that anymore. They've incorporated Halo 5 into it, which wasn't even their game. I mean, 343 took over and Halo 5 was their game, but they now have a clamber feature. So when you just miss jumping onto a ledge, you just automatically go onto it, and it just, you know, they're kind of taking away from it. They're taking away from what Destiny was and what it is, and, you know, I just don't feel like it's the same anymore, and it's just not something I'm enjoying as much. I mean, I'm obviously going to get it, you know, the story was really fun, the story mission was fun on its own, but, I mean, the strike was it was dragged out too much, I felt. It wasn't as fluid and straightforward as the others. It wasn't as, you know, I don't really know how to say it. It's just, it wasn't as captivating as the other ones were to me, and it just didn't really feel that great, if I'm honest. But I mean, it's a good game. The story was good. You know, the homecoming story mission was really fun to play. I enjoyed that so much. I just didn't like the, you know, the way that the super took so long to charge up. Even when killing ads, it takes forever to charge up. And I think the thing that I liked the most was the story. And that's what they didn't have in Destiny 1. See, the things that I like mainly are the things that they didn't have in Destiny 1. I like the new abilities with the Titan shield. The dodge is on every class for the hunter now, which I love. And I love the way that, you know, you've got the new empowering rift and healing rift for the warlock. I love that. And I also love the new subclasses. I love the new stuff. Apart from the way that the weapons work and the charge up rate for the supers, and the strikes just aren't as, you know, good as I would expect them to be. And I felt that a lot of the weapons were a bit underpowered. They weren't as useful as you would think they would be. You know, they weren't as good as, say, some hand cannons were terrible. Whereas I know in Destiny 1 we had terrible hand cannons and everything, but the impact that's on them would make it seem as if it would do more, but it just doesn't. It was just, to me, this game is starting to become a bit of a letdown for me. It's not really what I expected it to be. It's not as good as I was hoping it would be. It's a good game. The story has a good premise. It's strong. It's got great voice actors. The new subclasses are amazing. The new weapon looks, the new armor, you know, it looks cool. But it just didn't feel like Destiny, if I'm totally honest. And this is basically just a massive rant, and I really hope Bungie sees this, like, because they need to fix that charge up rate. It just, to me, it just wasn't Destiny. To me, it didn't feel like it was a Destiny game. It didn't feel as captivating as the first one, and my phone's on. But yeah, it just didn't feel captivating like Destiny 1. Destiny 1 was big because of, you know, the way it played and the missions that you had. I mean, I know the story wasn't great in Destiny 1. There wasn't exactly a strong story, but I just feel like it was better because of the raids, the way that they did them, the way that the strikes were, the weapon systems, the armor systems. I know they changed like the light and everything around a lot, and that, you know, originally it was you can only get to level 20, then you had to level up to level 34 when the second DLC came out using the armor. But then they brought in light for the Taken King, and then it became just kind of, you have to upgrade your armor instead of just getting new ones. You can upgrade it now, you can keep the one that you like the look of, and you can upgrade it. But I don't really know, it just, to me, didn't feel like Destiny. It didn't feel like it was the Destiny game that I wanted to, well, that I want to buy. But I am going to buy it, as I said. I mean, I already have pre-ordered it, but I just feel like there is so much that they've changed that is wrong, that doesn't fit what Destiny is and what it was. So I really hope that the final game is better. It just, as I said, I love the story. The story is much better than before, and it's made so many speculations from Destiny 1 with if Gaul is actually going to be the bad guy that you fight in the raid, or if he's going to be a boss that you fight at the end, like when you defeat Oryx at the end, but then Oryx comes back in the raid, which was a bit annoying because you don't finally defeat him in the story. And for some people, you know, they don't play the raids they just do the story, they just do some crucible matches, they never do a raid, and so they never get the feeling of beating that final boss. And so I think that if, say, the speaker is the bad guy, which is one of the theories, if he is the console, as it is, and not as in console, then, you know, it kind of adds a bit more to it, because it means that the players can finish the story and beat the bad guy, but then those who want to go into the raid can then fight the upper guy, the guy who's kind of behind it all, pulling the strings. And I just really hope that it does live up to the expectations, that it does get better, and that they do take into account things like the stuff that I've said, and that they make it better, that they make the game better, that they, you know, make it to the way that the players want and all of that. I mean, I just feel like the supers charge up too slowly. The weapon system, as much as it started to grow on me, it still didn't feel right, because it was just wrong having a fusion rifle and a sniper rifle and a shotgun as your heavy weapon. I mean, I like the way that they did in Destiny 1, where they just took it so that your secondary weapon you'd have to get new ammo for it every time that you died. That was good, and I think that's what they're trying to do. They put it in the power weapon so that you only get it every now and then, but it just didn't feel right. But anyway, that's kind of what I thought about, you know, about Destiny 2 and about the beta. That's kind of what I thought. It's my opinion, so please don't roast me, please don't have a massive go at me. It's just my opinion, it's what I think about the game, and, you know, it's what I feel they should improve. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, please smash that thumbs up button, and if you did enjoy, subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay classy, guys. Peace. And I'm sorry for this just being a massive rant. It just felt good getting it out.